So today I thought I would talk a little bit about something that's been on my mind for years now, and that is how I feel that, this topic can cover many different areas, but I'm so prepared. Okay, the reason why I'm flubbing and having a hard time like formulating what I want to say at the moment is that it's automatically going to come across as like an attack on anime fans, and people are going to get defensive and hurt. But what I'm trying to say here is that anime fans are in many ways hurting the industry.
I bet you watch Disney dubs of Miyazaki films, noob!
And see, the way I said that right now already, it just sounded like I'm trying to attack fans for whatever. And it really goes with our culture today, how technology is speeding everything up and shortening everyone's attention spans and is making everyone impatient. And also it's giving everybody this like, give it to me now mentality. Like people expect to get things just like that. People expect you to respond to text messages instantly. They expect you to respond to emails quickly at any time of the day, even if it's not business hours and stuff. That's a whole separate rant altogether, but it feeds into this like rant. It's not really a rant. It's more just these are my thoughts, and it's also like, what do you guys think? And just want to pick everyone's brains and let you guys pick my brain. And what I think is currently hurting the industry, not of anime itself, but of subtitled anime, localized anime, dubbed anime, well, not dubbed, but subtitled and localized anime in the United States, in the UK, and other places of the world that are not Japan. Main thing that I think is hurting is this whole demand for simulcast anime. Now, on the one hand, I remember being a big wide-eyed teen otaku back in the 90s anime renaissance, and it was hard, guys, okay? Like, you guys who are, under the age of 25, you have no idea. Like, we had to, well, maybe you do have some idea, like, if you were a fan as a kid, but, I mean, we had to wait until months or years after a series has been released in Japan before it could be like put on a Laserdisc or a VHS already for purchase for Japanese people, and then in turn, like, you somehow get your hands on it. Like, this was before Amazon, this was before online shopping, this was before like online stuff, like online, the internet was in its infancy. And as a fan, you had to like wait months, years to get, fan subbed VHS copies of your favorite show and find out what happened next. The anime community was so much smaller back then. It was just so much harder to find anime, and you have no idea like how unreal it is that like you can just click wherever you are on your phone, on the street, you can watch anime that is coming out like right now in Japan. It's bonkers, and it's great in that regard. Like, my 16-year-old self is so jealous of me right now, and like wow, you can just watch anime whenever you want to, and it's free even, and legal. But on the other hand, I'm worried. I already see the bad sides of this, but I'm worried that this demand, this insatiable need by anime fans for their anime now, that's really hurting the quality of the releases in the West or in the East, and anywhere that's not Japan, basically. It's really hurting the quality of the anime translations there. So yeah, I'm coming from this as somebody who translates anime. I do translate and have translated for like, legit professional, like for streaming services, but also for back catalogs and also for anime cons and the like. And like, having worked on the inside, I can tell you guys, like, I see a lot of fans sometimes also complaining about like the bad quality of the translations or of the subtitles, or like there's typos, there's grammar errors, or oh, that thing was mistranslated or whatever. And it's like, A, if you're gonna be that hypercritical and you can pick out all of these mistakes, like, you don't even need the subtitles. What are you complaining about? You must understand Japanese perfectly, and you don't need the subtitles anyway, so why are you complaining? But B, like, what do you expect if we're having to pump this out so that you can get it, like, super, like, right when the Japanese people are watching it? Of course there's gonna be some mistakes. Of course, quality is going to suffer. It's like that triple Venn diagram, okay? You can have something fast, you can have something high quality, or you can have something inexpensive. But you cannot have all three of these things at once. You can only have two at a time. And currently, the current state of, streamed anime simulcast is it's cheap and it's fast. I mean, that's kind of what the fans are demanding. They want free or cheap, and they want now, 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 now. They also want quality, but, if you're going to prioritize the fast and the cheap, the quality is just going to suffer, and we can't help that. So just to enlighten y'all, when I have translated for a streaming service on a team of people, sometimes it's a team of like 4 to 6 people. So as a translator, I'm only one link in the chain, and I had sometimes 24 hours the team had total. Like, we'd get the episode from Japan like 24 hours before launch. And as a team of 4 to 6 people, collectively, we'd only have 24 hours to pump out that episode, which means that each person in that team only had about 4 hours for her portion. And then if the people at the beginning of the chain were slow, if you're towards the end of the chain, like maybe you only have 1 or 2 hours to carry out your task if it's gonna go live on time. And I mean, you're just bound to make mistakes if you have that little of a time frame. So that's one problem. The second problem is that a lot of stories, anime series, but it applies to any story that you're like making, creating. If you don't know where it's headed, like knowing where the story is headed, knowing what the character arcs are going to be, knowing what's happening at the end of the series, that can really greatly inform your translations at the beginning of the series. So I always feel like when I have been able to translate a whole series from start to finish, well after it's already come out, so I had the opportunity to watch the series all the way through first, like, my translations are so much better. They're so much more informed. Like, I know where the characters are going. I can tell from future episodes more about this one character that maybe only had 2 lines or something in the first episode. I know better how to translate catchphrases because I see how they're applied differently in later episodes. I know better, like, how to like if there's some kind of term that continuously comes up, or some kind of like name of a place that continuously comes up, and maybe in episode 12 they're going to make some pun about it. It's like, if I know that, then at the beginning I can translate it in such a way that it will work with that pun later. But if I don't know about the pun later and I'm only watching it like just an episode at a time as it's coming out, I'm going to miss stuff like that. So that's one of the huge disadvantages of translating anime for simulcast rather than waiting for the whole thing to come out first and then translating it. So I can think of a compromise, and I have actually seen in some videos where fans have ranted about this issue, I have seen some fans even bring this up, and I think it's a good idea. I feel like a good compromise would be, okay, we stream simulcast anime with the understanding it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some errors here or there. There's going to be some mistakes. It's like the beta version. We release it with the understanding that there's going to be some mistakes here and there. It's not going to be perfect, but at least, you get it now. And then later, like a month or so after the entire series has been simulcast, go back and then edit everything and fix it and make it all pretty and nice. So that's a compromise, and I feel like that could work. But I feel like if it would work for the companies themselves, like if they'd make money off of it, or at least not lose money off of it, they probably would have implemented that already. And I feel like even though pretty much all the anime that I watch is after simulcast, because I like binging. I know a lot of people like binging. I don't really like watching things 1 episode per week. I like waiting until it's done, watching the whole thing in like 1 or 2 days, because then you retain the story better. Tangent. I got off on a tangent.
Get on with it!
But maybe anime fans aren't really like that. Maybe they really do like the simulcast and they don't really care enough to go back and watch it later, like after they've already watched it. Like, oh, let's go watch the slightly better version. So I don't know. I mean, I think it might just be a simple matter of it's not viable for companies to do that. They can't turn a profit, or at the very least, like, they wouldn't even break even. They'd lose money off of that potentially. Otherwise, I feel like they would already be doing that. But I don't know, maybe there needs to just be more vocal fans saying, hey, we want better quality anime. So either ditch the whole simulcast model altogether and wait and release really good anime, or, you know, do the compromise where we do simulcast now and then we go back and make it pretty later. I don't know, what do you guys all think if you watch anime and you're watching this video right now? Let me and everyone else know down there. Try to keep it civil. And if you want more thoughts from a Japanese anime and game translator, you can go ahead and subscribe, whatever, or add me on social media because that's an easier way to connect with me and ask me questions. Or you can do neither of those things because you're a free spirit. Anyway, bye!
Oh my god, relax. It's just a cartoon.
It's actually a very innovative art form.